recruiting weekend. We had a massive, like, low-key recruiting weekend. And again, the recruiting buzz has definitely changed a little bit given the circumstances of the transfer portal, but it's still an important factor. Still going to be a base. You still got to pay attention to it. We all know Peyton Joseph, 4-star offensive lineman, is the teammate of Antoine Hill, 4-star quarterback, and teammate of 4-star defensive edge Isaiah Gibson, who recently committed to USC. Why is that important? Well, Isaiah Gibson was there this weekend. Peyton Joseph was there this weekend. And what's this other young man's name? Tavares Dice, who's currently committed to Auburn. He is not teammates with Peyton Joseph. But Antoine Hill was not there this weekend, but he has been to Florida a lot. He may have been this weekend. I can't remember. It was a great weekend for visits. Solomon Thomas, another big offensive tackle, was there this weekend. He stands at a whopping 6'4", 315. He is the number one, according to On3, inside offensive lineman in the country. In the country, ladies and gentlemen. Why is that important? Why, Sheldon? Why emphasize Solomon Thomas, who's currently committed to FSU? I'm fired up, baby, because Peyton Joseph said, if I had to pick out of all these guys, Tavares Dice, Antoine Hill, who he's teammates with, Isaiah Gibson, who he's teammates with, and Solomon Thomas, where do you feel best at, Peyton Joseph? In the article from Corey Bender, they go, Peyton, how you feeling? You were there this weekend, and Peyton also said, I'm doubling down. I'm loving where I'm at. I love this place. This is home. I'm digging it. I'm rocking and rolling. He goes, who you feeling good about? He goes, Solomon Thomas, excuse me? The number one inside offensive lineman, just clarifying, you said something. He said, Solomon Thomas, okay, I'm listening, 6'4", 315, and, oh, that's right, 6'6", 275, the number 22nd offensive tackle in the country, Tavares Dice. That's who he feels the best about right now. Antoine Hill and Isaiah Gibson, they go to school with him. So we're feeling good about those two. The other two may not feel good right now, but he's going to be seeing them every single day. He's going to be recruiting them every single day. Now, we have learned here, boys and girls. We don't double down. We don't buy in. We don't split them. We don't do none of that stuff, okay? When it comes, if we're taking a bet on a teammate coming in because their teammate committed here. We have learned. But, come June, we're flowing again. Jubilee weekend's hitting hard and heavy. I might say some lies. I'm just letting you know, I may forget everything that I just said. That's usually how this thing works. But as of now, I'm stable. I've got a good head on my shoulders. I still remember the burn that we've had from the last 2 years. And Zay Mincy, the year before that, was somebody else. I don't remember anymore because I try to forget the pain that I've endured. And just like I forgot the other pain, I'll probably forget last year's pain very quickly. So, with that being said, right now, we're not splitting aces. We're not doubling down, okay? For now. I love it. This clip here, this film that we're watching here is of Tavares Dice again. He's 6'6", 275 out of Fairburn, Georgia. All these young men were there this weekend. Solomon Thomas, I believe he was on an official visit. Been hearing a lot of great things on him. Again, he committed to FSU not too long ago. FSU has been heavy on him. He is out of Jacksonville, Florida, I believe. So very close. Yes, Jacksonville, Florida. So we'll see how all that plays out with all those guys. Antoine Hill is another big one. For the quarterback situation in 2025, it's very light. There isn't at a top 10 quarterbacks. I don't believe there's too many more. Antoine Hill is kind of fighting for, I believe, out of that spots for the top quarterbacks. He's right at number 10. He's right at number 10 on 3, number 8 at 247. So those top 10 quarterbacks are all kind of scooped up right now. In Florida, wow, I just took a look at this. North Carolina led the way for a very long time. He was committed to Colorado about a year ago. That ship has seemed to have sailed. Florida leads the way currently on 3. Just now seeing this, followed by Georgia. He is from Georgia, Warner Robins, Georgia. Warner Robins pumps out studs, by the way. Then Alabama, then Tennessee. So in great company there with quarterback play. We know Tennessee already landed McIntyre, so they already have their quarterback, which we should feel good about. The Alabama situation with Nick Saban gone kind of puts a little, changes things. But Georgia does not have a 2025 quarterback as well either. They're heavily pursuing Julian Lewis, who's currently committed to USC. So you've got to think Georgia is going to play a big factor into this, given that they're shopping around still for their quarterback as well. Again, the quarterback situation is pretty tight. So this one's going to come down to the wire here as things start to heat up. Now, I know guys can flip, but quarterbacks outside of Dylan Raiola, because he's soft, typically try to stay home with their class because they try to build their class around them. So I'd imagine we should see a commit here hopefully soon with maybe one of these commits. I mean, if any of these guys commit, Solomon Thomas, Tavarius Dice, Isaiah Gibson, who also committed to USC, but he visited this weekend, had a great time, very close to home to him. Again, these guys that committed to USC this past weekend, Hilton Stubbs, Isaiah Gibson, and then the other young man, the defensive lineman who flipped from Georgia, all three of those guys, everyone came out immediately and was like, yeah, these things aren't going to stick. They were very unorthodox the way that it all rolled out. Had no rhyme or reason to it. I'm not saying that they're not all going to stick. Just didn't make any sense. And that's all I'm just going to leave it at that. So USC, who hasn't recruited well, all of a sudden came out swinging, realized that they have some money. I don't know. We'll see. We know Florida and their recruiting budget has increased a little bit, and it seems to have shown just given the noise around certain top-tier talent that we've been looking at. So it's weird. We lose Darnell Stapleton, and the offensive lineman recruiting all of a sudden just takes an absolute jump. I don't know what's happening here, but look, I will say that I'm here for it, and I'm loving every minute of it.